Have you ever sat down to work, opened your laptop, looked at your to-do list, and then somehow ended up watching YouTube, scrolling Instagram, or staring at the wall for the next hour? You call yourself lazy. You tell yourself you need more discipline. You compare yourself to people who seem to have everything figured out. But what if you've been calling it the wrong thing all along? What if you're not lazy? What if you're just mentally exhausted? Today, we're going to talk about the difference, and why understanding it might completely change the way you see yourself. We live in a world that never stops demanding our attention. The moment you wake up, your brain is already making decisions. Should I get out of bed now? Should I check my phone? What should I eat? Did anyone message me? What do I need to finish today? By the time you've eaten breakfast, your mind has already processed hundreds of tiny decisions. Most people don't realize that thinking is work. Every decision costs energy. Every notification steals a little bit of focus. Every unfinished task sits quietly in the back of your mind, asking for attention. Eventually, your brain reaches a point where it says, "I'm done." But instead of recognizing that feeling as mental fatigue, we label ourselves as lazy. Think about your phone battery. When it's at 100%, everything runs smoothly. Apps open instantly. Videos play without problems. But when the battery drops to 1%, everything slows down. Not because the phone is broken, because it needs to recharge. Your brain works the same way. Yet when your mental battery runs low, you don't rest. You criticize yourself. You force yourself to keep going. You compare yourself to people whose struggles you can't see. And little by little, you become even more exhausted. Here's something interesting. Have you ever noticed that you suddenly have energy to play games, watch videos, or spend hours on social media, but not enough energy to study or work? That doesn't mean you're lazy. It means your brain is looking for the easiest possible reward. When you're mentally drained, your brain naturally chooses activities that require the least effort while giving the most pleasure. That's exactly what social media, games, and endless scrolling provide. Quick rewards. No challenge. No discomfort. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's trying to recover using the easiest method it knows. The problem is, those quick rewards don't actually restore your energy. They simply distract you from feeling tired. It's like drinking coffee when you desperately need sleep. It works for a while. But eventually, the exhaustion catches up. So how do you escape this cycle? First, stop confusing rest with distraction. Watching random videos for 4 hours isn't real rest. It's avoidance. Real rest is different. Going for a walk without your phone. Sleeping enough. Reading a book. Talking to someone you care about. Sitting quietly for 10 minutes. Doing absolutely nothing. Those things actually recharge your mind. Second, lower the size of the task. When you're mentally exhausted, don't promise yourself you'll study for 5 hours. Tell yourself you'll study for 5 minutes. Don't aim to finish the entire workout. Just put on your shoes. Success isn't about making huge changes overnight. It's about making starting feel easy. And finally, be kinder to yourself. Imagine your best friend came to you and said, "I feel exhausted. I can't focus. I think I'm just lazy." Would you call them useless? Would you tell them they'll never succeed? Of course not. You'd encourage them. You'd remind them that everyone gets overwhelmed. So why don't you treat yourself the same way? The voice in your head becomes the environment you live in. If that voice constantly tells you you're a failure, life becomes unbearable. But if that voice says, "You've had a hard week. Let's just take one small step today," everything changes. Remember, productivity isn't about doing more. It's about protecting your energy so you can do what actually matters. The people you admire aren't machines. They get tired. They lose motivation. They procrastinate. The difference is they don't let one bad day become a bad month. They rest. They recover. Then they continue. Because consistency isn't built by never stopping. It's built by always starting again. The next time you catch yourself saying, "I'm so lazy," pause for a second. Ask yourself a different question. Am I actually lazy? Or am I simply overwhelmed? That one question could change everything. Your mind isn't your enemy. It isn't trying to make you fail. Sometimes, it's just asking for a break. So tonight, sleep a little earlier. Drink some water. Take a walk. Put your phone away for a while. And tomorrow, don't try to become a completely different person. Just become 1% better than you were today. Because you don't need a perfect life to move forward. You just need enough energy to take the next step. And sometimes, that's more than enough.